Today I'm going to show you 3 features that are now available to everyone. I'll spend most of our time on automations, responses, and Personalize because that's the biggest addition and there's a lot you can do with it. Then move on to profile change tracking, the My Schedule indicators, and then needs key icon on My Schedule. To access the automations, we're going to go to the Communication Automations page. What we're discussing today that has been released publicly are the event-based automations. You can also see these tabs, the lifecycle conditions and analytics, and that is functionality that is being treated separate from these automations, and it is something that you can utilize by turning on in PPC Labs. The event-based automations let you send communication based on what's actually happening in your business. These aren't just generic marketing emails. You can connect them to visits, trips, payments, client milestones, and pet birthdays. For example, you may want to set up an upcoming service reminder. So that may be done a certain number of days before the first grouped visit. And you can specify the service types that it will be sent for. And what this will do is it will send the client an email reminding them of their upcoming service, as in some cases they may have requested weeks or months before. This is a great way to send the client the information they need to know right before their service starts. It may be instructions or policies for how you run your business or what you expect from them. Now, you could also use a similar trigger for sending an email to the client after their service. So if we used after the last group visit, now you can send them an automatic email when their service ends. And that can be done a certain number of hours, days, weeks, or months after their last visit. If you're wanting to perform automated follow-ups for clients who don't seem to be using your service anymore, that would be the lifecycle conditions, which is in PPC Labs. And then there are the relationship building messages, like wishing a pet a happy birthday or recognizing its birth month. These are very easy to set up automations for. And all of these emails that are sent are going to have a call to action, which is a link at the bottom of the email. If you're using the modern interface update, it's going to be a button at the bottom of the email. And that call to action, whether or not you're using the lifecycle conditions and analytics that are part of PPC Labs, we are tracking the call to action clicks. So that is something that you can be able to look at analytics for, whether or not clients are not only opening these automation emails, but also if they are clicking through to where you want them to go. When you're sending reminder automations, we're going to automatically link the clients to their My Schedule page, but if you wanted them to be linked somewhere else, you can add whatever link you want to the call to action link. You may also want to send emails after something happens. So say after a payment, you may want to request a review from a client, and that's something you could do with these automations. The Personalize allows you to add the first name or full name of a client directly into emails. And of course, when the email is sent, this will be replaced with the actual first name or full name. If you're choosing a pet-specific automation, you can add the pet's name within the email. And of course, we have a preview option here. You can see exactly what the email is going to look like that gets sent to clients. And you can use the Personalize in the subject of the email if you copy and paste it in there. The responses are the exact same thing as what we previously called canned responses. And they can be found on the operations responses page instead of within the communication messages page. But otherwise, they work exactly the same as the canned responses. Now we're going to talk about the profile change tracking, My Schedule indicators. Profile change tracking already records when clients change important information on their profiles. What's new is that those changes can now be surfaced directly on the sitter's My Schedule page. So if a client updates care instructions, medication information, access details, or something else that affects a visit, the sitter can see that there's been a change while looking at the schedule. That change is indicated by this red edit icon. So when a sitter sees that, they know that client has made a change since they last looked. And we're going to click on that, and that is going to show them what has changed. And of course, what they see on the profile is the same as what they normally see. They can click on the icon, they can see what has changed, what it was before. And by clicking on that icon, the system does remember that they've seen that change. So now, when we go back to the My Schedule page, that icon is gone. So they can be confident whenever they see that icon, something has changed that they can go review. And we should also note that the My Schedule icon will only appear if profile information that they have access to has changed. So if you're changing administrative notes on the client, a pet sitter isn't going to get a profile change icon. Needs key icon on the My Schedule. This one is very simple. If your settings make it so you can see the needs key icon on the master schedule, then it means that same icon is now visible to the pet sitter on their own schedule. Previously, when that was the case, we had a request key button, but now we have that additional red icon just to visually indicate to the pet sitter that they need the key for that visit.